Dewey Decimal. Shelving right here. I'd like to just take a moment to thank you for helping me shelves the books today. I know it's not the most fun task in the universe, but teamwork makes the dream work, as they say. Or is that cheesy? I don't know. As a skunk, you don't want to really be cheesy, do you? Anyway, we're almost done, and afterwards we can go into the reading nook and have some tea. That sounds nice. Normally I find these activities kind of zen, but I think they've gone from zen to enjoyable with you here. Just kind of like your company, having you around. Being a skunk, you kind of get used to being a little lonely. But let's not dwell on that too much. Instead, ow! Oh, book hit me on the head. I was about to say that doesn't happen that often, but that would be a lie. That happens rather often indeed. Let's find the culprit, shall we? It's a copy of Jekyll and Hyde. Wasn't that funny? I haven't read this book in ages. It's not actually as bad as evil as people think it is. This book, it's a bit of an interesting story about the depths of personality and how it can kind of change depending on certain circumstances. In any case, let's just put that back where it belongs, shall we? Oh, me? Oh, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. Why do you ask? Oh, no, don't you worry your pretty little head about anything at all. I am 100% me as always. Anyway, we've only got a few more books to do, but why don't we knock off a bit early and go have some tea together? Yes, I very much like that idea. I very much like it. All right, well, follow me. So, last time we went to the tea nook, we tried out a couple of black teas. How about a nice herbal? I like a nice herbal, because anything can be in an herbal tea. With black tea, you've got certain constraints. It has to have caffeine and certain kinds of tea leaves, but an herbal tea could contain anything. Star anise, cinnamon, maybe something a bit sharp and bitter. It's lovely either way. Why don't you walk a bit closer? I can drape my tail around your shoulders. Bit of direction. I know you're quite prone to getting lost every now and again. Not that I mind. It's quite a bit of fun finding you. Normally it's just me getting lost in this big old bookstore by my lonesome, but it's nice to have someone else to deal with its little foibles and odd occurrences. There you are, all nice and settled in a good bushy curl of skunk tail. I've noticed you quite like my tail. Most people are a little bit afraid of it, but I find things that people are afraid of often also have another side. A slightly exciting side. A slightly enticing side. Of course, I'm just being a bit conjecturing there, of course. Anyway, here we are. Get you free of my tail. Wouldn't want you to smell like me for too long, unless you'd like that. But let's get to the tea making. I've got the steepers in the cupboard over there. Instead of the one that looks like a skunk, why don't we get that nice golden one? The one that looks a bit like a necklace with a nice golden ball at the bottom. It's kind of fancy, but I'm feeling a little fancy today. How about you? Very good, thank you. I'll just put the kettle on. A nice black kettle here. And some nice white teacups. Gotta like the colour scheme. And some nice sauces, of course. Good. Very nice. Alright, so gotta just turn on the heat. And while the water boils and I pick out some nice tea bags, how's chamomile for you? I rather like chamomile myself. It's a really nice, calming sort of flavour. Kind of makes one a little more loose, a little more open to things. That's why it's good for sleep, actually. I don't normally have a cup when I go to bed, but I think I might have one tonight. And one right now might prepare one for some somniferous delights. But, as I was saying, while we wait on the water to boil, why don't we sit together on the couch there? There we are, nice and comfy. And I'll just curl my tail around your back and into your lap. Feel absolutely free to play with it, by the way. I have to admit, it feels absolutely lovely to have your hands roaming through my fur, feeling that little bit of muscle underneath all that bushy fluff. Oh, yes, it's quite relaxing. My tail never feels quite as good as when it's around you. I swear I could keep you in there forever if I wanted. You ever think about that? How, with my little powers, I could very easily just kind of keep you around. I'd never, of course. Not without your consent. But, I do rather like, little hypnotic sort of things. I think that's why I have so many tea steepers. Look, this golden one that you handed me. It's a nice golden ball at the edge of a pendulum. And if I just kind of sway it back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. It's kind of very easy to get lost in its motion, isn't it? So you could just stare and listen to any old thing anyone told you. It's almost like I don't really need my scent to enthrall people. I could do it the old-fashioned way if I wanted, but that's boring. That's absolutely boring. But I'm talking about me a bit much, aren't I? Why don't we talk about books? I love talking about books. You know, I think Jekyll and Hyde, the book from earlier, gets a bit of a bad rap. It's got a bit of Frankenstein syndrome. In Frankenstein, the monster is not actually a big lumbering dummy, no. He's very smart. He reads Paradise Lost and other things. Jekyll and Hyde is much the same. Oh, no. Jekyll is not this good, upstanding citizen who turns into a monster after drinking a potion. No, he's a good, upstanding citizen with some proclivities, some interests that polite society thinks are a bit evil. And his inhibitions are what stops him from doing those things. Why, the potion doesn't make him another person, it just gets rid of his inhibitions. Without those inhibitions, his posture, his stances, his mannerisms change so much he seems like another person entirely. It's quite interesting, isn't it? How, after all those movies and adaptations, the original concept of the story has been lost. Well, I think people are kind of like that. You kind of get an idea of someone in your head, and you never quite know if it's right until you kind of get in and read the original. Oh, there's the tea. Good. I'll just walk over and fix us cups. And there we go. Got the nice cups out and pour some water over the nice chamomile leaves. Oh, this strand of chamomile has a bit of mint in it, I'm quite certain. Oh, that is so refreshing. Oh, there we are. And you can put your own sugar in it. I take mine without any sugar, actually. Well, at least I do today. Anyway, while we're enjoying this tea, why don't you come back over a little more often? Why, I think I'd like to, I don't know, hire you, maybe. You make a good book clerk, and you could learn some magic of your own, perhaps. Then it might be a little more of a game when I want to hypnotize you. If you got something to kind of play back with. Teach you some spells. Maybe teach you about polymorphing. Be quite interesting indeed. You know, I don't think I've shown you the true depths of this bookstore. Normally I hide it from people because I'm afraid. So I'm a bit scared of what they might think. But this bookstore is bigger than I let on. Quite a bit bigger. Come on, why don't you take your tea with you and we'll go on a little tour. You see, these shelves contain books that have a little bit of magic in them. And when magical books are stored in a non-magical space, that space becomes magical. Because, you know, knowledge is power, and power is energy, and energy is mass. So, this bookstore stretches quite a ways in all directions, despite how small it seems on the outside. You think it's just a little old bookstore tucked away in one corner of the neighborhood, but no. I think this bookstore might actually be bigger than the town on the inside. In fact, if you just hang a left here, and maybe a right there, go down this aisle here, go past the biographies from people who don't live in this dimension, and suddenly, you're not in a bookstore anymore. You're in a cathedral. Look at that. The ceiling is so high in this stained glass. I don't know what religion this cathedral is for. I don't think it exists here. See, this bookstore floods into alternate dimensions of all types. It's connected to the multiverse. That's why all that weird magical stuff happens. It's feeding off of magic from another place. Because this town is on a bunch of ley lines, and I think they all kind of converge under this store. It's quite interesting, isn't it? How something so small and unassuming could have such vast multitudes. Oh, yes, it is quite interesting indeed. Speaking of things that are interesting, you've probably noticed a slight change in my demeanour by now. You've always been quite a smart cookie, that's why I like you. So you've probably gathered that there's some magical shenanigans going on. That's fine, don't worry about me. Your regular little Oreo is still in here. He's just a bit, sedated. Or rather, his inhibitions are sedated, which basically makes a whole new person because Oreo is 95% inhibition. So therefore, if you remove that, you've basically got another person entirely. So, if I'm another person entirely, what shall we call me? You know, there's an interesting thing about Oreos. They're not actually the original cookie of that type, the chocolate cookies with the creamy center in the middle. It actually goes to another company who made a very, very similar cookie with a very similar design. Those cookies were called Hydrox. Isn't that simple? Isn't that nice? Jekyll and Hyde, Oreo and Hydrox. I rather like that as a nickname for me, don't you? Hydrox. I think that fits quite well. Oh dear, you haven't been drinking your tea. Oh, don't look so worried. Like I said, the book Jekyll and Hyde is not about one man who is good and another man who is evil. It is about a man who has a lot of inhibitions and a man who has none. They are essentially the same man, and though I've come up with a fun and cute little nickname, that's true of me as well. I can tell you right now, Oreo would never do anything to hurt a hair on your adorable little head. And therefore, I never would either. 'Cause I like you just as much as he does. I'm just not as shy about it. Which is why I can just sidle up next to you, curl my tail around your side, and whisper gently in your ear that I desperately want to hypnotize you. Yeah, I'd love to make you an adorable little thrall for a bit. I'd never do it without your consent, however, because I may be without inhibitions, but I'm not without morals. So, why don't we have some fun, you and I? Don't worry, Oreo will enjoy it as well. He'll just be very shy and might hide his face under his hat for a day or two when he remembers all this happening. But everything will be just fine. So, and do be honest, do I have your consent? Oh, very good, very good, very good indeed. Oh, this is exciting, isn't it? Normally I'm all kind of blushy and stuttery when I do this sort of thing, but not right now. Right now I can just call up my scent hands and gently have them stroke your face. You've got such an adorable little face, and such adorable little expressions. Take a deep breath, why don't you? Smells like chamomile tea. Might have been prepping you for this a little bit earlier, to be honest, but nothing wrong with that, is there? Why don't you take a slightly deeper breath still? In for as long as you can stand it. Hold for just a moment, and out. Smell that chamomile tea. Smell it slowly morphing into your favourite scent. Anything you'd like in the whole wide universe. As my tail tightens around your side, just a little possessively. While you're not a possession by any means, it feels nice to kind of hold you close, and think of you as mine, just for this little while. Why don't we go a bit deeper still? Breathe deeply. Hear the sound of my voice in your ear. Smell that delightful scent of your favourite thing as you breathe and relax into that plush, scented fluff. Good. Very good indeed. Now, you're going to do whatever I say for a little while. Or at least until this little book encounter of mine wears off. And I want you, while you're like this, to find that book and put it in a special place. And whenever you're willing, you can bring me out whenever you want. Because Oreo will be quite too shy to do it of his own volition. But if you ask him to, he'll become me whenever you like. And then you can do whatever I say for a long time. Perhaps you'd make a nice maid around the bookstore. Or just a book clerk. Or I could turn you into any old thing. Ever fancy being, I don't know, a cat? A pleasant little pussy cat for me to scratch and listen to you purr. Oh yes, that would be quite delightful indeed. But for now though, simply focus on your breathing, on the relaxation of your body. Feel that kind of calming energy starting from your bottom, your feet, your ankles, and flowing up along the lower half of your legs. Feel the power of my voice thrumming through you, up across your thighs, over to those hips, which I'm quite a fan of, to be honest. You're extremely cute. Over your tummy, your sides, your arms, just simply falling into my will as it cuddles around you like that big bushy banner of my tail. As a good little thing. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, this is going to be a delightful evening with you and me. You know, since your tea's gotten cold, I think it might be a good idea for you to make a new batch for me. And after that's done, we can spend the entire evening having fun. And I can show you the rest of my endless bookstore as you sniff that endless, delightful scent and listen to the endless cadence of my voice. You and I are going to be here for an indeterminate amount of time, and you are going to enjoy every single second of it. When it is over though, do be sure to give Oreo my regards, and let him know that everything's just fine, and that you're there to comfort him and tell him that everything's alright. Because it is. Because I care about you. And I care about him. Because he's me. For now though, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on you. And all the delightful ways we're going to spend our time together.